shot, one kill.
The cavalry's here! Nerf
我が
this!
敵を食らう
Play of the game.
Heroes never die. I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Get ready. 5, 4, 1.
Start your engine!
One shot, one kill.
The cavalry's here! Nerf
我が
this!
敵を食らう
Play of the game.
Heroes never die. I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Get ready. 5, 4, 1.
Start your engine!
shot, one kill.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here! Nerf
我が
this!
敵を食らう
Play of the game.
Heroes never die. I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Get ready. 5, 4, 1.
Start your engines!
Epic. One shot, one kill.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here! Nerf
我が
this!
敵を食らう
Play of the game.
Heroes never die. I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Get ready. 5, 4, 1.
Start your engines!
Epic. One shot,
Nerf
我が
this.
敵を食らう
Play of the game.
Heroes never die. I've got you in my sights. Fool.
Get ready. 1.
Start your engines.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Owlet. We're getting ready to get into some Overwatch action in just a second. My name is Eric Decerux Beltran. This is Daniel, the Saved One Mena. And unfortunately, he's having a little bit of a fire alarm issue once again. Welcome back, Daniel.
I hope it doesn't come into my room because that's when it gets ear-piercing loud. But we have this, going off of Overwatch for a second, we have this weird oven where if we go above 400 degrees Fahrenheit, I think it's Fahrenheit, then the fire alarm just goes off. We have no idea why. It just gets super, super hot. Anyways, I'm excited for this match in particular. We have two of these teams that are coming into this one, and it's looking like it's going to be interesting. Both of them are readied up. So I think we should be getting into this one very, very soon.
Absolutely. The team's taking it on today. EXPandable Academy versus Vote Meme today. Spectacular name. Nothing else to say about that one.
Yeah, nothing to really say about this one. I hope we get into this one because we actually, we should be very, very, very soon. Let me see here. Sadly, we also don't know anything about these teams, so we can't do in-depth analysis like you guys want. But we'll learn about them as we go. So it's a big learning experience for everybody, right? We all come together, kumbaya around the fire. Everyone's holding hands. Everyone's really happy, right?
Yeah, Saved One's going to be holding my hand right now because this is my first time ever casting Overwatch.
Aww.
Please.
This is my second time. So, you know what? The most that we'll ever get is like a, wow, these guys suck. We have the stats on the screen right now. Thank you so much, producer. Vote meme today is 0-4 in this tournament. EXPandable, you see what they did there? Academy 0-4 as well. Coming in week number 3. So it's only week 3, right? It's not anything too crazy. It's not the end decider, but it's a good like skeleton of what is to come.
It's a matter of the fact that it's easier to start strong and start to end weak than it is to end weak and have to start weak, and try to end strong. So both of these teams looking to break their defeated streaks and hopefully pick their first W of the season.
Yeah, definitely. This is something that we need to watch out for. I think that 100%, you're right. If a team can start off strong, then it really does look good for them in the long run. But right now, there's a lot of different heroes that need to be played in order to really boost up a team's overall morale. I think that a lot of teams' default strats are to go for, 2 DPS, 2 supports, 2 tanks, right? We have seen a couple of other comps come into play over these over this Owlet tournament. We've seen the 3 tanks, 3 supports. The Goats comp. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Play the Zarya, Reinhardt, and then maybe, like a Winston. A Winston could be good, right? We've seen the Orisa as well. If it's a defense, if it's more of a pushing comp, then we might see something else, more of a dive hero like the Diva. As well, you could see over on the support end, you got the Lucio. Lucio's really good with a Moira, maybe a Mercy in the backline, or Brigitte. Brigitte's amazing as well. We're just gonna ready up here, but the Goats comp is something that's definitely something to watch out for if teams want to pull that out. But we will be entering game number 1. Ilios. I think I got that right.
Ilios.
Like that. Oh man, it's a tongue twister.
Ilios.
Ilios.
How dare you?
It's a tongue twister for me. Come on, man. but yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, and first we're gonna start off with control on Ilios. This is where it does get interesting. There's gonna be no payload. It's all gonna be about controlling that very mid area. We're gonna see what comps these teams choose to come out with. We got 10 seconds till we finally hit the battlefield.
I absolutely love control maps as well. I think there's such an interesting feel to them. When you really, I guess, look at the technical of it. If you look at right where the control part meets everything, then I do like this little dip, because there's that right hand of the field where there's that 100 med pack. But then there's like a couple of pillars, so it can add as obstacles when you finally get into it. You can add a Pharaoh on one of these comps, maybe even a Widowmaker if you really do want to go that far, because those high air caliber heroes is what you need to see in order to pick off guys that are sometimes hiding behind these different pillars, or maybe just the rock formation on either side.
Yeah, so we are getting into the match now. Vote Meme today on the blue side, red side, Team EXPandable, and they're looking to meet dead on as the comps come in. See the pharmacy coming out from Vote Meme today. Shots are being fired. No one yet to control the area. A lot of priority comes out from EXPandable. They're going to go straight for the fight from the get-go.
It does look like they're a little bit separate. You saw the Winston and the Diva go up initially when they didn't have anybody.
Ooh. Already starting to rack in some kills. You can see the downs going, but Widow on Widow. Lettuce gets the better of it as the aggression still pushing forward from EXPandable. Ultimately, they're able to get the point.
Yeah, EXPandable just going to hold this little line right here. Some of them are on the point itself, specifically the Diva. The Winston are kind of in that back line, but then you also see a couple of more carries on the flanks, right? Winston's kind of following on that left side flank, but we got to look over at Meme and see what they're able to do. They do have the dive comps so far with the Diva and Winston, but they do need to get more up there. There's the Hanzo in the back, but they're going in.
The fight's starting to come in. Shields going out. Looking all right, so good for EXPandable, who are looking to fight this one off as best as they can. Vote Meme today able to push forward and get some control over that point, but yet to claim it so far. Bodies are starting to hit the floor. Once again, Noseville able to take down Lettuce in the sniper duel. Game for you finds the pick onto the healer. Only one healer remains on the side of EXPandable.
Game is going crazy.
On Luxury, and yeah, so far it's starting to fall back from EXPandable. Vote Meme today are getting control of the point, able to pop out the mini Diva and absolutely annihilate it. Control going over to Vote Meme today.
And they slowly went on to that point. It wasn't anything too crazy, like a full-on dive like I was expecting, but it was just very, very slow. I loved how X Game for You was just picking off members one by one by one. Once he got 3, that was the initiation call. That's when you started to see the Winston go in. He ended up falling, I think, pretty early there as well, but they're even going even more aggressive. They find the Widowmaker and they want blood.
Oh, and here we go. Out comes the ultimate, gonna ring through the middle, not gonna find any picks, but gonna separate the team of EXPandable as Dope Waffle tries to go forward. The tank is gonna be the first one to fall. Now Vote Meme today are looking to keep control of this point. The attack coming out of EXPandable. Out comes the Transcendence from Sakoi, but it's not gonna be that effective because Vote Meme today have dead set control on this middle point.
The Primal Rage as well was activated at the correct moment. You saw there the Zenyatta, the Transcendence, was there just to keep the 3 DPS, I believe, alive, and just wasn't able to do so. The Primal Rage as well. It just saved Winston from even falling there. I do like this formation as well, where you have the 2 tanks on the right-hand side. You have the Hanzo as well as the Mercy, but that just means an open door.
And they took down Power Dog before he could get his Transcendence off. Out goes the bomb, and down goes Vote Meme today. EXPandable with a huge push to claim control of the point.
EXPandable not getting any kills on the D.Va ultimate itself, but Meme definitely takes 2 casualties for itself. But you see 69% to 61%. This map is so incredibly close. Lettuce on the flanks there. He just wants to stay alive, maybe cause some shenanigans. But you can see why these DPS are switching to Tracer, because she is so incredibly annoying to deal with in these late percents.
And you can see it right there, just running all over the place, but almost gets caught out. Able to find the recall. The attack coming in from Vote Meme today as they look to get as much damage as possible. The ultimate is used from Ishigal, and Power Dog has Transcendence. This will be a critical time to use it if they look to create control of the point. But so far, EXPandable are doing so far. Outcomes of Transcendence, the fight breaking back and forth, and the Primal Rage does go off. It's looking good for Dope Waffles. He's looking to claim what he can, but one going to go down for both sides as the fight continues. Control of the point is going back and forth, but it started to tick down into overtime. 99% in favor of EXPandable. Right now, Vote Meme today have to win this fight or they lose the round, and they're starting to lose members. They've already lost Captain Creek as well as Ishigal. They're taking down the baby D.Va into that final form, and down goes your final take, which means this is the hopes of Vote Meme today, winning this round number 1, going down because EXPandable, they bully everyone off and they take round number 1.
They take round number 1, but there is still 2 more. But even just talking about that match a little bit more, EXPandable, they kept their fight up that whole entire time, even adapting to certain playstyles. I love how they switched to the Tracer later on in order to really just show what the team is capable of. Now we're on this next stage of this map. Yeah, sorry.
One thing I have to do comments on that I absolutely love that came out of EXPandable was one of the things that let them do one of those charges. Power Dog had Transcendence up, and they took him down in one of those fights without him being able to pop it. They just really focused targeted him, and taking away that ultimate was what led to the downfall of Vote Meme today, being null of control of that area.
As well, you get to see another form of adapts coming out here on both sides. They're switching out the Winston as well as the D.Va. Yeah, I believe they're switching out the D.Va. The Reinhardt Zarya combo as well. You have the Ana kind of in there, but Meme, they're falling.
Yeah, meeting in the middle 1-for-1 thus far as the fight still continues. Dope Waffle's doing a great job at defending, but you have to be careful with the way you approach this one. Losing members on the side of Vote Meme today is not looking too good as shots keep firing. Vote Meme today has no other choice than to retreat at this moment. Vote Meme today just going to look to find pop shots.
EXPandable's keeping the point just like how they did the last time to start off the map. They ended up taking the first couple of percents, but finally when you're in this very small area, it can be very hard to get in.
Yeah, it can be very scary. There's a lot of tanks going forward. You can see the triple tank bomb coming out as it's time for High Noon. Lettuce only able to claim one and then falls to none Soville. The fight continues. So far, Vote Meme today are getting the worst of this, but has the nano boost as well as the knockdown. Transcendence going to look to deny a lot of this. Going forward, trying to do some work is Captain Creek, but he's starting to fall critically low as the hammer does go down at the hands of Dope Waffles, and bullying away Vote Meme today is EXPandable. They're going to win out another fight.
The big part of this combo was supposed to be the Ana Reinhardt. However, you didn't see that happen there. It wasn't that great of a combo timing, at least, because you saw Captain Creek and he couldn't swing and hit. It was just constantly trying to chase the enemy, but this
the big bomb gonna look to come in. So much work done from EXPandable. 4 down in 1 simple self-destruct.
As well as the Zarya going down, the last casualty to fall. That does not feel good for a reset when you get almost aced and then you respawn and then all of a sudden get Zarya into D.Va ult. That is just not a fun time.
It is a big bang if I've ever seen it. EXPandable are doing pinpoint work right now, really utilizing this triple tank comp.
Yeah.
Pushing forward, broken today, looking to get some work done. The hammer being swinged, but now looking to get a bit of a big bang of their own. Unfortunately, does not have the D.Va ult to really follow it through as the attack starts coming through from Vote Meme today. The ultimate is absolutely denied. Now Captain Creek gonna be the first one to fall as the fight continues. It's scattered all over the place, but it does not matter. That's 100% going through. EXPandable take round number 2.
They take the first set as well. It is. I believe it is a best of 5, but expandable played that almost perfectly. We get to see play of the game. Guess which one this was?
Oh, we know what it is.
Oh man, the diva. Oh, that was amazing. And then just finally the Zarya trying to run away. Where are you going? Just
There's
down.
no beat you can drop that can stop the level of beatdown that just came out of expandable.
No way, dude. Oh, I think the big part of that was Vote Me Today not knowing how to play their comp. They looked so scattered throughout that whole entire match, and they just couldn't even walk near that point. Like they initially expandable, they were on that point. All right, they capped it, and then Vote Me Today tried to siege, but nobody was on the same page. And even when they tried to or like going into later percents when they had to adapt, it just wasn't there. Yeah, it just didn't look good.
Yeah, that was the story. Really comes down to Expandable's expert level defenses. Once the pushes started coming in, it was just a matter of setting up with those triple tanks. It's a lot of beef you have to cut through in order to get to the backline and inevitably the point, and that is what Vote Me Today could not do. Expandable put on a great show.
We also get to see a couple of swaps coming in from I believe both of these teams. I'm not sure who we're actually going to see swap out, but Expandable, these guys, they knew exactly what they were doing on that map. But we do need to now switch our attention over to Rialto, because this is a totally different map.
Absolutely. This time we're going to do an escort map instead of a control map, and this means different compositions work better in control. If you gain control of that point, it's all about having that front line, being able to defend it. Even if you can't find the right moments with your ultimates up, do that forward push. Escort is a completely different monster.
Definitely. Initially getting onto that point, you definitely need some sort of tank shield, whether that's the Orisa or the Reinhardt. I think Reinhardt does work a little bit better in these scenarios.
Yeah.
But you can also run the Orisa if you really do want to. But yeah.
I mean, let's face it. At the end of the day, Reinhardt is pretty much the bread and butter
He's
of
the guy.
any composition.
Yeah,
He's the
guy.
tank.
He's the guy that gets in there. We did see on that control map, however, the Winston, jumping onto the point. But that was just because that was just a dive. It was a dive style map. Yeah. But we do get to see, like you were saying, different styles of comps. I also do like the snipers for that overhead pressure on Rialto in particular, because you need to get past that bridge. I think the first bridge that you have to pass is what you need to initially get into, the Times Square of it all, even like that the right turn at the end of this alleyway. I know that a lot of teams as well can pull out some cheese if they do want to pull out the Lucio just to boop some people off the bridge, because it can catch some members off guard sometimes when you get a Lucio, sneaks through the right hand side and then boop and right off the bridge, or the Roadhog. I've seen a couple of Roadhogs where they will stand in weird little corners and hook some people off into the water, so that's cool too.
It's going to be interesting to see what they choose to go with in their composition. Again, we said Reinhardt was one of the must, and there's so much that he really synergizes with, from Zarya's ult, if you go with the double tank, to something like the Ana ult. I found her name for a second.
That's fine. Yeah, we do get a little bit of an overview as well of this map, and exactly, it looks like I'm Italian, so getting this Italy style of a feel is really nice. I like it.
So we are waiting for the heroes to assemble quite soon, and then we will go on with this escort. And this map is pretty tricky to pull off a successful escort. You can be bullied absolutely away, especially during those last few moments when you're trying to get the final push going.
There's 3 main points to this map. The first phase is definitely one of the bigger tests, because you need to pass, like I was saying, this initial bridge. You got to get past this, the right-hand turn as well. Finally getting into Times Square is really where the pressure could start being placed, because there's all these little corridors, all these little places that you could get picked off from, and it's not what you want to see. But the second phase as well I think is a little bit easier to start off with, but we're just gonna have to see step by step, phase by phase. And here's where we're starting. We get to also look at comps.
I'm gonna take a look at the compositions coming out thus far.
Ooh, goats.
Yeah, we're going
3-3,
goat right
dude.
now.
3-3, dude. That's it. That's the name of the game. I love it. Brigitte, Reinhardt, Zarya. So annoying to face against, especially Brigitte, man. She whacks her flail at me, and I don't like it. Get that flail out of my face. But we get to see how these players play around all of these little chokes. I love the pharmacy here, applying so much pressure on that backline.
Able to apply the pressure, and with the composition going with that go comp from Vote Meme today, it's not an easy pick to find that Mercy, not the Mercy, the Pharah. There we go.
Yes.
Pharah up in the skies.
Yeah, the Pharah is something that definitely Expandables need to watch out. Or nope, sorry, wrong team. Vote Meme today need to watch out for. I do like the Reinhardt coming out from Vote Meme today. However, dive on both sides.
Yeah, the flank gonna come in. A lot of damage goes through both ways. A 1-for-1 traded so far as Nunsoville does his job, finding the picks that he can. Pushing forward. It's gonna be easier for Vote Meme today, but out comes the ultimate from the Pharah. Able to find a double kill through. See right there, still damage coming in from Expandable. They're trying to make this push work, and they're getting the better of it thus far.
Expandable totally annihilating Vote Meme today. You can't get off that payload. You got to get back on that payload. You got to remember that. You can't just leave it. You got to use all of your little advantages. But they have pushed past the first phase, honestly, with ease. Oh, you do see.
Oh, that's got to hurt right there. Getting popped while your ulti goes off, and finding these picks at this critical moment is superb for Vote Meme today, because now Vote Meme today can position forward. Expandable has to back off and wait for the respawns to come through.
You have to place 4 members on that payload right when you get that ace, and you have to use every single moment in order to push that payload. Escorting maps are crucial for that, and this is what sometimes teams will fail at. It's all of the little simple things, of course. Getting the ace is great. Getting the full-on team kill is amazing. However, you need to push that payload in order to get as much distance as possible. From what we've seen so far, though, Expandable is really, really good at pushing on this payload like they're doing right now.
And you can see coming from the flank, out goes the ultimate, unable to really find anything, but look at the flank coming out from the Pharah! Able to pick 2 on the backside. The fight continues, it's not looking too good for Expandable. They might want to choose to back off this one because the pressure is being applied from Vote Meme today, who are looking to defend this payload as best as they can and stop it from going forward. You can see it right there. Anna has nowhere to go, just getting chased down and annihilated from Lettuce.
Yeah, they just get totally run down. They're just shoved way off of that payload. Sometimes when you have a Sombra, this is the name of the game for your comp. Is stay on some of these flanks, go invisible, and try and cover yourself as best as possible so that you can maybe go in that backline, get the EMPs, or maybe hack whoever you really need to. As well, you need to be annoying, and this is exactly what she's doing right here. Stay on some of those upper flanks.
Oh!
Exactly. Stay on the upper flanks and try and pick somebody off like they did right there. It's a 5v6.
Oh, and a great use of the ultimate to come out the follow-up with the self-destruct. So many people are hacked down right now. And Vote Meme today, they got to be careful about the way they play this. The aggression is coming forward, but out comes the self-destruct once again. There's no real shield to defend against it, but no one falls from it. As the push does continue out of Expandable, they're getting in a lot of damage, trying to use that pharmacy combo as best as they can. Expandable are pushing forward. Vote Meme today are doing a great defense, but here comes the ultimate once again. It's ringing through. Got to be careful if you're that far right there. Just able to find to pick the payload. Finally able to make it to its point. Over on the bridge, still pushing forward is Expandable as they chase away members of Vote Meme today. They will get the better half of this escort.
As well, you also saw the Reinhardt there just suicide because he knew that it was just, that was it. It was down and out for him. Jump off of the bridge. Don't give any more ult charges to the enemy team. The Widowmaker with the snipe.
And Nunsoville able to find it on the mark, letting out shot after shot, trying to find the long ones. It's kind of tricky. They're so big of a tank front line, and that's when it gets excruciatingly painful once that Reinhardt starts walking forward. But the assault is going to start going off. Expandable looking to get the push go off. Out comes the ultimate as well as the Big Bang combo. able to find a little bit of damage in, but we're starting to see the members of Vote Meme today fall one by one by one. They have the push going. ExPandable are making it work.
Ash was in that backline, was taken out. She was a huge threat there in that fight. Only taking out one, but it's still something that you can't let go. In this phase 2, ExPandable doing an amazing job of just taking care of whoever they really need to. Right when one fight is over, it seems like another one is starting. That's how good ExPandables are at controlling what ultimates they use at what points. Vote Me today looks like they want to defend this point. They still have 1 minute left, but Winston jumping in.
Yeah, and a big point there was Power Dog went down. That's one of your healers down. That's the front line starting to fall one by one. ExPandables are putting on a hell of a clinic, but they no longer have their mercy. They're starting to lose people. Out comes the ultimate. It does go bang, but it doesn't find anyone. And now a little bit of a D.Va face-off. Another point reached for ExPandable.
The D.Va just making her way right behind that payload. I believe you ended up seeing Captain Zay. Thought that he was on the payload, but just wasn't. He was a little bit short. So Purple Dragon is very happy about that.
And props to both Nunsoville as well as Al Penguin, who are able to find those pre-fight picks.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work, but Bob will come out. The shield's going to do the best it can to prevent Bob from getting any additional damage. It's going to be put to sleep, thanks to that Addis. But once again, the barrage comes through. El Penguino is able to find a double kill, and this keeps the push looking strong.
As well, you take out the D.Va mech, and you keep D.Va in her baby form just for a little bit, just so that she is still in the match, but not dead just yet, just so you stall it out a little bit more. They're going to the main Citadel. They want to try and get this point.
Yeah, they're looking to close this one out, and they are so close to doing it. Vote Meme today, they have a lot of work to do here, but this last little stretch is where it's the hardest. We're going to see if ExPandable can take it.
They need some sort of a pick, and it's the D.Va ultimate.
Oh, it's coming off the backside. It's able to find the main tank, Captain Creek. And with that tank down,
the
looking behind noon. Only one pick does go off, and it's going to be onto the Winston. But Nats is able to find the pick onto Penguino, and the defense is going to be successful from Vote Meme today.
Oh, the Winston was the main initiator. That was the go button in order to get in there. The self-destruct was amazing. It ended up taking out the Reinhardt, the main tank of this comp, and they just couldn't find their footing after that. Now they need to reset. Everyone, back off. Don't trickle in. Wait for your Winston, and hopefully try and push up this point a little bit more. This third phase is so annoying for this. In order to get onto this, into this main hall, you got to go through this stretch here, and Winston's trying to do it.
Go. Resurrection is on. 14 seconds remain. The big play has to be made and has to be done now as Bob does go out. Gets a bit of damage on Skoy.
Transcendence.
Defense is coming out cleanly. Out goes Transcendence. Gonna keep Vote Meme today alive as well as it is time for the Deadeye. It goes out. Lands onto Penguino. And this is looking spectacular for Vote Meme today. They're finding picks left and right. But they're starting to lose their footing. Damage is coming out. Power Dog as well. Circle does go down. And the damage is ramping up. The attack coming out of ExPandable. They have no choice. Out comes the self-destruct. Doesn't land onto anything. But will the defense be enough? You can see the Primal Rage coming out of Spike Mecha. He's doing his darndest. He's doing his best. But he's down to the ground. Penguino has come back. The defense of Vote Meme today is successful.
Vote Meme today, and on their last foot, end up defending this point just before the final destination. Oh man, they were so close from finishing this map, but they were able to hold it, which was amazing. Good job by Vote Meme today. They adapted very well on that last point.
Yeah, that being said, though, ExPandable got it far.
Yes.
So Vote Meme today, they really have a lot of work cut out for them because they have to make it all the way, pretty much almost dead onto the point.
We can see on the screen right now the camera just going all the way back to the beginning, and we just get to see where exactly these teams get to look for. We also get to see the destruction that was done in that last push. So many railings being taken out. That sucks for the contractors. Anyways, contractors are just like, oh, we're just gonna, we're gonna sculpt this really nicely. All of a sudden, Winston just jumps on it. That's it. It's all done.
That's the conversation we're gonna have here. It's not about Overwatch. It's
not
about
about the
civil
comps.
engineering.
It's not the comps. It's not, what could this team do to come back? It's the contractors, man. What the heck?
Yeah, now vote meme today. As we said, there's so much they have to do. EXPandable weren't able to get that point, but it's fair enough because that point is so close to the respawn of EXPandable that they can just keep coming in waves. It's pretty much Zerg mode at that point. Vote meme today, they do get the advantage early on, but it slowly fades towards EXPandable as it gets closer.
Oh, there it is!
Respawn! Oh my
There it is,
goodness!
the bridge. I'm telling you, dude. It's something that nobody expects, and all of a sudden, the Pharah just nails you. Oh, the pushback into the river, taking out 2.
Already, the first defense is successful.
Oh,
and you can see
man.
right there, vote meme today, they had to back off and wait for those respawn timers, but there's 2 tanks coming from 2 flanks. It's not looking too good for Spike Mecha as he goes a little bit too far forward. He doesn't really have anyone to back him up, so he is going to back off. But a snipe comes through from No Suville onto Lettuce. And with that, the revive is done by Power Dog. That's the revive already used going on to cooldown. Known Soville. You can see on the backside trying to find whatever snipes he can as the push starts to come in. A lot of damage is going to follow suit thanks to Pinguino. And 1 pick onto Captain Axe, but Nats is able to take down No Soville on that backside thanks to that Tracer pick being tricky to go through. But now the ultimate Deadeye is starting to come through for Lettuce. He was able to pick up Pinguino in the sky, which is very crucial at this point. The revive goes onto Sakoi, and so far EXPandable are off to a good start, but they're trying to keep themselves alive in this one. They are getting very painfully close to losing Spike Mecha, as well as Urshigol getting critically low as well. But the defense from Vote Meme today is starting to come in. The rockets raining true, as well as the sniper shots going through as well. And so far, no picks to come out of EXPandable. They're having a hard time finding this defense on the escort.
Tracer is coming up huge on this map. Nobody can get onto her. She has taken out 5 members. I believe it was 5 or 4, something like that. Some crazy number, but Winston on the point.
Oh, it's ultimate time. Out comes Deadeye, as well as dropping a beat. Dropping bodies, EXPandable, lose 3, and it was in a heartbeat. On that note, though, no vote meme today, they did lose Nats. You can see the revives coming through, able to pick up Nats. Able to pick up Urshigol, but Nats is the one who has to walk back. But a big play to come out of Vote Meme today gets the escort going.
They are looking amazing on this map. Vote Meme today is a totally different team on this map. Dude, this Tracer is coming out. She is not playing as well. Lettuce is just sniping people left, right, center. The Tracer, again, the Tracer, just so many picks. Don't get off that payload. Constantly stay on and keep it moving. As the escort, on the escort map, every single minute counts. 1 minute equals 1 push in my book, at least. But you need to just constantly keep that thing moving. The pulse bomb as well.
Another pickup and taking out that Mercy as well. Spike Mecha gonna fall in the process on that Winston. This gives so much time to Vote Meme today to continue this push. You can see that Reinhardt really paying off. El Pinguino has gone to the Genji. It's a tricky pick to go for as it is high noon, but Pitts put to sleep. Lettuce gets sniped out by Nutsoville.
He does get res, which is really nice, but Diva on the point right now.
Big tricky Spike. Doing a lot of work to try and stop this point from going through, but out comes the ultimate Captain Creek. Unable to get the most of that, but out comes the gravitational. Sadly, it's not really on to anything. Now the push keeps going through. Vote Meme today, they're looking better than EXPandable on this escort, but once again, Deadeye gonna come through. Gonna find the double pick. 2 kills go through.
5.
Let the bars fall. EXPandable lose everyone but Mecha.
These guys, these DPS guys are nuts. Where were these guys on that initial push? That's insane. The grab as well way back there was just for the Winston, just to keep him in the primal rage. Sometimes you underestimate it, right? But you got to take down the high health guy. Oh, dude, the Tracer and the McCree. They're showing up.
But into the sky, it's time to show down as Genji comes through. El Pinguino trying to find the picks, able to get one onto Urshigol. Lettuce gonna look to back off the slices. not able to find as much as he would want, but did claim a healer in the process. Power Dog able to pick him back up as EXPandable do find the defense they were looking for. They don't really have the ultimates available, neither do EXPandable. So at this point, Vote Meme today are going to look to back off and regroup.
This is the one problem that Expandables had as well, is just getting past this one main point. They have to do it so very slickly. The Tracer is in the backline trying to create some sort of commotion. She's only doing it a little bit. She did attract the Zarya over to on that right side, but they have to get on this payload. The Reinhardt to lead the charge. Let's see what they can do.
Fight is starting to come in. Once again, Deadeye gonna ring through. Finds it on El Penguino. That's one member down on the side of EXPandable. They're starting to lose more. The self-destruct gonna go through. Will it be a critical one? Purple Dragon gets Captain Creek and Urshigal. And this is the open EXPandable need as the nano boost does go on to Spike Mecha, but it's countered. A knockdown. Captain Creek finds his mark. And Vote Meme today, they're trying to find the final push as Sequoia able to slip in onto the payload, finding as many picks as he can. The grab goes through, and now it's not looking too good for Vote Meme today. The comeback coming out from EXPandable.
Still, the Tracer is constantly putting out the pressure. She is still standing up at the pulse bomb, taking out one.
Finds two. Dine as well as Purple Dragon. EXPandable, though, they're able to recover quite quickly.
That's it. That's just gonna is Tracer's death. Finally, she ends up falling to the Brigida Flail. What other? But also the Reinhardt all just missing.
Yeah, unfortunately was blocked by the shield. Because Vote Meme today, a window of opportunity because the ultimate is available, but there still is Deadeye waiting to ring onto the build from Vote Meme today, but the defense is coming out too good from EXPandable. Vote Meme today, they need to back off and recover.
Yeah, that was not a good push by Reinhardt. He's just kind of getting his emotions get the better of him, right? Sometimes when you're in these high pressure situations, you've been winning the whole entire time. Finally, when you're on your final legs, your final stretch, you are not able to keep it together, and that's exactly what we see Captain Creek doing. But Mercy, Lucio, Zarya, McCree, they all have their ultimates.
So many ultimates. Deadeye is going to go through, but not at the best angle. Takes the shots, unable to miss it. No right click to win. And out comes the grab, to able to fall so far. Urshigal going to be eliminated from the side of Vote Meme today as going forward. He's unable to find much. Captain Creek falls to the ground, and this is where Vote Meme today abandoned the fight again and look to recover. That last push is so hard to pull off, Saved.
It's crazy. You have to get everything correct, and unfortunately, they're not able to really just come together as a team. It really does look like Captain Creek is just going in non-stop, full force. The difference between Winston and Reinhardt is on Winston, you have some sort of disengage. However, on Reinhardt, you're in and you're in.
There's so many ultimates available for EXPandable, so they're gonna use them. Find the pick onto Urshigal, but Captain Creek is able to get onto Purple Dragon. The damage starting to nano boost used onto Spike Mecha. He finds the claim onto Lettuce as he continues running forward. Slams down the hammer, but can't find much else. Captain Creek runs on in, looking to swing that hammer and claim a healer or two, but Captain Creek is not finding anything. He might find his demise instead at the hands of Penguino, and the defense coming up clean as EXPandable are able to take down member after member of Vote Meme today and find their victory in game number 2.
That's gonna be it. EXPandable keeping the hold. What a dominant force out of Vote Meme today, up until that last point. Finally, right when they came around, they just weren't able to get it, but Lettuce with the play of the game.
Oh yeah,
I remember this.
Yeah, you see the Deadeye, you know what's coming.
I knew, baby. Woo. He ended up getting
three.
Yeah, he ended up getting 3
Oh!
3 ticks there, and then finally just taking out his last member. Oh man, he should be getting honored. What do you? Come on, team support. Give this man. Give this man. It only needs 5 votes. Who's not voting? Come on.
The votes do go through. Do not go through. Excuse me, but EXPandable. At the end of the day, they're 2 up, and it's looking like match point right now.
Oh, it definitely is. Temple of Anubis is a crazy, crazy map because it's a mix of 2, right? You got the initial charge of it is getting onto the site and holding it for the 3 ticks, and then it's the same thing. I'm just kidding. I was thinking about another map. I was thinking about the payload one where you get onto the point, you cap it for 3, and then you get to move the payload. Not the same one, ladies and gentlemen. Just kidding. That's Hollywood. But Temple Anubis, it's full on assault. So you just go onto the points after points after points, and you get to get it at some point.
Yeah, so now you really got to reconsider your strategy if you're vote meme today. One of these teams is trying to pick up their first victory of the season. And at this point, EXPandable, they look clean right now. They do look like a team who should not be doing as poorly as they should.
Yeah, they're not. Vote meme today, they have strengths, and they also have a decent amount of weaknesses. I think that their strengths consist of just comfort. They know certain pushes are really good for themselves, right? On that last map, on Rialto, they were able to take those first 2 points consistently really good, right? When they had a game plan and executed it, they were able to do it successfully. The problem that they ran into is right when they tried their plan and failed, they weren't able to bounce back because of how overly aggressive Captain Creek was going. There was so many points where he would be with his team to start off the fight, but then all of a sudden he would go back to solo queue and be like, I need to go in here. And he would charge in and not really care about the rest of his team that was behind him. I think he needed to be more of the team player in that sense. Go in with your team and just cooperate, right? Team play is massive in these type of maps, and you need to be able to adjust.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing you have to really commend EXPandables for is their use of ultimates. They're always in synchronization when they start popping those ultimates, and they do it beautifully every time. It comes from all angles. One of the players we do have to take a closer look at from what we saw in that last time was Nats, who was constantly on the back line, really setting up this crew.
Yeah, and they're going to be keeping him here as well. They're not going to be swapping him out. It's Lettuce as well as Nats just staying on this team because when it came down to it, those first two captures were all up to them. The McCree and the Tracer were so annoying in the back line. I think that Tracer was definitely a better fit than Sombra because it's either you go Sombra or Tracer. You don't go both in the same comp. The Tracer was really annoying in the back line. Same thing with Sombra. However, Sombra wasn't able to do her job as well. The Tracer did it just beautifully, where she was in the backline constantly, but then also act as that backline DPS in certain moments. So we gotta watch out to see what this DPS duo end up pulling out here. Are they going to be switching? Maybe are they going to be switching out comms? Are they going to keep the DPS style? Who knows? We're gonna have to see.
Yeah, only time will tell with that one. When it comes down to it, though, the next map is Temple of Anubis, and it is an assault map, which is a little bit remnant of Ilios in a way, which was a control map. But if there's anything I've seen, it's the defense that EXPandable can pull out when they're able to claim the point. We saw more success out of Vote Meme today when they're able to do that escort map, but against something like control or assault, it seems like EXPandable have that on check.
Yeah, EXPandable is really good at defending when it really does come down to it. The one point that really sticks out in my head when you think of Temple of Anubis is the first one. The first one, it's very easy to capture. If you have the team played down and you have the communication, you're able to take that first point with ease because it's so hard to come back once you've died. Right when you respawn, you're so incredibly far away from the point that most of the time, if 3 of your members go down, that's going to be it, right? That's the go-ahead for whoever's attacking in order to get onto that point. On the other hand, though, that second phase, that second point that you have to take is right next to the base, which is huge because all of a sudden when you're defending, you can constantly start trickling in if a lot of your members die, and you can also hold the point. So it really does come down to, does your team have the defense to hold that first point? And if not, can you also hold that second point? Because again, it's much easier to hold the second.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that the first point is going to be taken from both sides, both EXPandables and Vote Meme today. The second point, as you said, it's the tricky one because there's so many angles you can come from, but when it comes to attacking a point, usually you only want to have 1 or 2 people on the flank, and everyone has to follow through with the Reinhardt frontlining, along those lines at least. Yeah,
the Reinhardt is definitely huge. We have seen a little bit of lackluster Reinhardt play, though. I haven't been too impressed with it so far. What we've seen alternatively was the Winston. I think Winston works a lot better for some of these pushes. My bad. on certain points when you see the Winston jump in, that's the go ahead. That means that the rest of the team is going to be right behind that Winston. When Reinhardt goes in, it's a mix mash, right? You could either go in, or if Reinhardt just ends up not crunching someone into the wall, he doesn't get a successful charge off, then it's just like, all right, Reinhardt's in the back line, he's got his shield, he's got one of two things. You can either place down the shield and not swing, or you swing and take a lot of damage. So we need to see a mix of Reinhardt play that is defensive, but then when you're on the offensive, you have the rest of your team backing you up, and you're not just 1v6 in the back line.
Yeah. It's a tough spot. We do want to take a moment to apologize for the delays. The teams are sorting out their rosters for this next, what could be the final assault. As right now, as it is, Vote Meme today have to pull off a reverse sweep. So they're being very careful with what roster they put into this final game. Possibly final game.
Definitely. Game 3 is huge for some of these teams, even though it's like, it's just, it's only week 3, whatever. Every single win counts, no matter if it was from week 1 or the last week. So we need to watch and see if Vote Meme today can pull out a reverse sweep, because they have been showing signs of comeback ability, right? Again, looking back at that last map, Rialto was huge for that. When they were on the attack, they took those first 2 points with ease. It was like, honestly, wasn't even close in some ways. EXPandable took a lot longer in order to take those first 2 points than Vote Meme today. But now, new map, new team, new squad. We get to see how they put together their synergy.
Yeah, as we wait for the rosters to start coming in, this first point should be really, there should be no story about it. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. And if you do get blocked there, there's a lot of trouble waiting to happen. As we do have 7 seconds left until we're able to finally see those rosters. Get some fun going with this final match. Once again, it's all on the line for Vote Meme today. They have to win this one, or else it's a 3-0 sweep.
We also get to see a couple of other little variations of certain comps. I wanted to see that Bastion so badly. They teased me, man. I don't like that. Don't tease me. You switch to Brigitte, though. Brigitte is much more reliable, obviously. But, hey, a good old Bastion play? Why not?
Yeah, and we do have 15 seconds till they start coming in. Looking at the rosters overall, we're probably going to see another GO comp, as you can see on that blue side. There's no surprise there. If you want to play defense, it's the comp to go to.
Yeah, it's definitely the go-to. You stack a lot of these members on this top front, and it really just allows you to take control of a lot more. As well, you also see the Zarya. I don't know how Zarya got up there, but you know what? She's on the top, and she's just firing away.
Yeah, and here comes the assault coming through. Nats being on that Widowmaker, trying to find what picks he can. And we saw how good Nat is with picks, and we're seeing it again as he gets it onto Sequoia. Shots are coming through while the rest of the squads are coming through, and that's one of the rough parts right there about playing that Widow purple. Able to hunt him down a little bit, but the assault is continuing. The pressure is really on. Vote Meme today are putting on a good first assault. They've lost Valsalcon. Purple Dragon is starting to fall as well. Vote Meme today, they're roughhousing their way through. Brute force with pure strength. Purple Dragon, the only one left trying to defend the point, but when you're Baby Diva, there's not much you can defend.
It was what I was really important. It's what I was saying last time, is that you have to put up full-on defenses for this first phase, because it's so hard to come back. There is no way you're able to come back. But again, defending objective B is where it's at. It's right next to the base. You have the 7 minutes in order to attack it. In particular, you have 7 minutes to defend it as well, but they want to go right on in.
Wow, they're going brute force aggression, ruthless aggression coming out of Vote Meme today. The ultimates are starting to come in. You can see one on Power Dog on that Moro right now. The assault still comes through. There's not many ultimates on the side of EXPandable, so they got to be careful with the way they approach it. You can see the Rip Tire is ready. The gravitational pull is ready. There's so much ready for Vote Meme today, and they're going to look to end this one early. Rip Tire picks up 2. Luxury Elon as well as Vassalcon, but Nonzoville able to get a redemption kill, and here comes the self-destruct, able to be blocked by Captain Creek. This could be it. It could be a quick double taking on this assault map, but the respawn timers are coming through from EXPandable, and they might be able to redeem this game, find some redemption. They're getting pulled together. One pin comes through. Sequoia does fall again, and you can see on that backside the defense that Nats is able to put in is immaculate. Is able to find pick after pick. Still, it's coming through. EXPandable are not giving up, and neither are both memes today. This is intense. They have yet to jump over this point, but Transcendix comes in, and there's no choice but to run away when you can't do damage to the opponent. But now that it is ended, the aggression still comes through Vote Memes today. It's such a back and forth fight, and it seems like there's no end to it. But with 2 down on the side of Vote Memes today, finally the defense is successful for Team EXPandable.
That whole team fight, 2 minutes long, and they were just playing off of their momentum from point number 1. They did not stop. They did not think about anything. Reinhardt led the charge, and they just tried to get in there as best as possible, and that was such a long fight. That, the Riptire as well, was massive. It picked off 2 people, but again, just like I was saying before, is that when your respawn is right next to the point, you have to clean up just like that. It's got to be super quick. You can't be stalling on anything. You can't be wasting your time on one member, but Wrecking Ball going in.
Oh, so much damage to come in. Finally the pick onto the Lucian on the backside. The ultimate is used, but doesn't really find much success. Here comes the damage. The ultimate is going to be used out of Basilcon as they continue trying to capture this point. Captain Freak is doing his best, but he's being bullied around and pushed all over the place. But the hook going to come in. Doesn't really find much. Captain Freak is killed by his lonesome and ultimately picked down by Luxury Yacht. But here comes the Riptire again. Goes through and does not pick anyone. That is a crucial ultimate that is going down as a self-destruct. Does not find anything. Could have been a big ultimate from EXPandable, but the push is still coming out from EXPandable on this defense. The ultimate does come out, and there's so much damage on the map. It's gonna find Nats, but let's break it down. Goes through for both teams today as they continue pushing forward, but EXPandable are standing strong. They're standing together. Freak trying to go forward, finds 1 pin, but does not find the kill to follow it through. As look at both teams today, they are ruthless with their aggression as they keep it up. Game for You takes down Basilcon, and the fight's still going to continue. They have all their members piled up, looking to take this point, but they have to knock EXPandable off of it. Power Dog off of the flank comes Purple Dragon. The ultimate gonna ring true, but here comes the Riptire once again. It's gonna go forward, and it's able to find them. Purple Dragon taken to the sky. He's trying his best to defend. He's pushed off of that point, and the capture might be able to come through, but the ultimate gonna come out. Fire Dog is able to get a lot of damage in, as well as a lot of healing. Down comes the slam. Dope Waffles is doing his best to pull off this final defense at EXPandables. They are not letting go. They keep getting the proper respawn timers that they need as Captain Free goes to the floor, and a lot of damage going on to Captain Free. That's your front line that's waiting to fall. A lot of healing massive. Though, and he's able to stay alive. He's able to stay into this, but push off EXPandable. They're able to find the defense and get Vote Meme today off of that point.
Yeah, they're gonna push them right on back there. Hammond doing so much work, knocking so many members up as well. Oh, but they're going in.
They're going in once again. Vote Meme today. They've been ruthless. They've been aggressive. They will not go down. They want to find the reverse sweep. That's Vote Meme today. They're able to bully him off of the point, try to contest it, but in runs that Hammond, no waffles, doing some work here, trying to delay this as much as possible, and he's doing a great job of that, just bullying people around. Luxury Yacht able to get that knockback. Power Dog is critically low. He needs to run for his life if he's going to stay alive. Finally gets some healing off as Lettuce still continues putting in the damage. Luxury Yacht doing his best, and here comes that minefield. That is very tough for Vote Meme today, and they are bullied off. And finally, a little bit of a lull in action. Vote Meme today have to back off.
Constantly back and forth the whole entire time. Vote Meme today. What an amazing defense that they've got going for themselves. They've taken, or EXPandables have taken 1 tick and just half of the second one so far. They're doing such a nice job playing on the aggressive front, but they're not able to secure the victory. They're just not able to get more than 1 tick. It's 1 by 1 by 1. They had 7 minutes so far, and they're looking for their final push.
Yeah, they have a lot of ultimates. No ultimates on the side of EXPandable. The Riptire comes through. It's able to find Basilcon, and now the advantage is over the Vote Meme today, but can they find the fix to follow it up as Nunto Creek is able to take down Captain Creek? But Wow, this is looking all right so far for Vote Meme today. They need to continue the pressure if they're going to find the capture onto this point, but it is a tricky point to claim because EXPandable just keep respawning, just keep coming back in. EXPandable will not give up this point, but Vote Meme today, they're trying their best to bully. The timer is going through. There's still 50 seconds left on the clock for Vote Meme today to find this point. EXPandable pulling away. Dope Wobble's doing his best to block and get in some hammer shots at the same time, but all together, this Vote Meme today, the ultimates are starting to come in for EXPandable, and they're finding a lot of damage in, but not the pick. Nunsoville takes down Captain Greek. That's your front line that goes down, as well as the gravitational. Vote Meme today are getting annihilated, and the picks, they finally find them. They bully away Vote Meme today.
30 seconds and they just can't get another tick. It's just constantly one after the other. Diva does find one pick, or one more pick, to secure just the Moira not coming back. But the Zarya overextends. This could be it.
Overextending, Doff Bubbles put to the floor. Out comes the self-destruct. Will it find the back line? Takes down Nats. And now it is overtime. The crucial seconds are looking great for EXPandable, as you have so many down on the side of Vote Meme today. But the revive is starting to come through. They need to rush their way in. Lettuce, the last one remaining, the final one to fall. Overtime goes in favor of this squad of EXPandable.
The Expandables are able to defend their last point with just seconds. That was insane. Holy moly. Vote Meme today, they take the first point with ease. And then EXPandable able to just defend it for 7 long minutes straight. That first push took 2 minutes. I don't know how you play-by-play caster for 2 minutes straight, but you did it, man.
Oh my.
But oh my.
That was commendable from both sides, especially EXPandable for fighting the defense, but for Vote Meme today, for not giving up on the assault. They just kept bringing it, and it looked like they were going to be able to pull it off because they kept having moments where their ultimates were available all in sync, and EXPandable were down all ultimates. Despite that, EXPandable, they play it beautifully and outlast those ults.
Yeah, it was really just an amazing match to see. Round number 1 at least. We still have one more, right? We have to see on the other side of the field. Can Vote Meme today was defending that one. Can they play as good as last time? They played an amazing defense, but it's all up to if they can play an amazing offense as well. It's all about that adaptability. Of course, when you play on the defense and you cap it, or if you solidify it, that's great. But if you can come back and play just as well, really is gonna determine if they can take the second phase. If they can take this first phase with ease, that's gonna be massive.
Okay, and here it comes, Team EXPandable, looking to make their way on to this first point. You can see taking the long back end. The pharmacy combo will be picked up by Vote Meme today, and they're very carefully moving forward.
This is insane. What a little weird flank. Top right corner just to drop down. We'll see if they can pull it off. They're all going down. Let's go.
Yeah, it's not brute force. It's all strategy here, as the point is getting picked up by this squad of EXPandable. No downs to come through. Lettuce able to pick it up onto Luxury Yacht, as well as Game for You taking down Sequoia. And you can see right there, Purple Dragon on the top side finds the pick onto Mercy, which doesn't ring well with EXPandable having your healer down. The defense is gonna be successful from Vote Meme today as they continue picking off member after member. You can see Lettuce in the skies doing God's work right there. And out comes the ultimate, but he's taken down from Nunsoville. As this could go either way.
Wait a minute.
Has switched to the Hanzo, and is this really going to be it right now? EXPandable might have just claimed the point.
This is insane. He took down 4 members there and just allows the rest of his team to trickle on in. There is the Reinhardt. He was debating it for just a quick second on going in, but this is going to be the exact same thing. It's not going to be as much time as the other team had, but they've got 6:30. It's just 30 seconds less. And they want to go right on in. The Lucio, you can already see him wall hopping, going crazy. Reinhardt going in as well.
This is a big one right here. If the defense does not come through, then EXPandable win it 3-0. The ultimate comes out, but it doesn't land onto anything. As EXPandable only have one more ultimate to use right now. The gravitational pull is going to come through.
The Reaper, you gotta watch him.
He's going to look to use it. You have to keep an eye on that Reaper. There is no ultimate available for him, but does get picked off at the hands of None Stoville. The picking expert transcendence to ring through and keep EXPandable alive. But look at the gravitational pull that comes through. It's not going to find anything because there's not enough members to really back it up. The self-destruct doesn't find a mark. But the knockdown comes through for Captain Creek. Slam still waffles into the wall, but it's Captain Creek who's going to be the one to fall as EXPandable standing on this point. Out comes the ultimate, but it's not able to find a pick from Nats as the bodies are hitting the floor. Only today, it doesn't look like they'll be standing anymore as they're pushed off the point. They need to get one more tick in, but they're unable to find it because the return coming out from Vomeme today. Pick after pick on Soville finds so much, and that's going to be the game. 3-0 sweep for EXPandable.
EXPandable ended up taking that 3-0. Not even close. That was insane. Thought we were gonna have a little bit more there. The Lucio actually with the play of the game. Let's see what he does here. Only a couple of assists. Not bad, not bad.
I mean, he does have the ultimate and he's holding on to it.
He gets it.
And there it is.
That was good. Yeah,
that was against the Hanzo ult as well.
Yeah, the Hanzo there. If you saw just like at the start of that, the Hanzo ultimate was actually 30. Yeah, that's insane. 32 elimination. Sorry. Dang. And that's fine. I was like, wait, what 32? And I saw it. That's awesome. The Hanzo actually, just to start off that whole push on the second phase, the Hanzo ended up whiffing it. That was going to be a massive ultimate. He tried to predict the push, but just couldn't, wasn't able to. We're playing on map 4. Why? Quick question. Why do we play on map 4 if it's already a 3-0? Even if Vomeme today wins, I don't know.
We're waiting for a build to give us the 4-1-1 on that one.
Hey, chat, can you
Okay,
Got it.
Just looking to play a full game. That's all we're doing.
So we get to see Hollywood for fun. This is good. I like that.
Yeah. Once again, do have to apologize. It's my first time casting Overwatch.
That's fine.
So map differentials, that's what we're getting to.
This is my second time casting Overwatch, so there's that.
Please be gentle.
Please be don't go too crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, let's take a look at the
go ahead.
what we're going to be doing next, and that's going to be Hollywood, a hybrid map. This is the one you were trying to talk about earlier.
Yes.
With the hybrid thing going on.
Yes. So I was saying before, I got the assault map confused. I thought you capped the 3 and then you moved the payload. It's not what it is. All right, don't take my word for that. Hollywood is what that is, though. You have to initially get a point and then move the payload, which is 2 different play styles, which is what I love. I love the diversity, because when you have a map that's just all one theme, it's either you cap 2 points or you just simply push a payload, or you control the point to 100%. You play one comp. If it works, you stick with it. That's it, right? On Hollywood, though, to cap the point, you need a dive. You need the initial dive, and then after, you have to push a payload. So sometimes teams might switch out the dive, for example, Winston Diva, and maybe put a Reinhardt Diva or a Reinhardt Zarya instead. And that is what I like to see out of certain tank players, is how well can they adapt. You also might see different DPS, right? On a payload, you could see the Tracer. You might be able to see the Widowmaker. But when it comes to control maps initially, you're not going to be, I don't think you're going to be seeing the Tracer to start off. You might do something a little more conventional, just stay in the back line. I could be wrong, though. I have no idea. We're going to have to see. Oh, we're ready. Let's get it.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get into this one. One of the players I do want to point out, because this dude has been spectacular, is None So Vile. That guy has been putting on a clinic. You saw on the last half, that very last push, he claimed kill after kill after kill to make that work for EXPandables, and the dude, 32 eliminations. My goodness.
We thought that was going to be it, right? EXPandables tried to go for their first push on the first phase of Temple of Anubis, and the team just died. Like, they just start falling body after body after body. All of a sudden, Zarya comes out of nowhere and just says, "Have you met my whatever?" And then she just starts going nuts. And that was it. That was just, it was just lasers. It was just lasers all around there. That was it.
Oh goodness.
We're getting into this one. Let's get it.
We're unbelievably pro. Don't worry.
Oh man.
Yeah, so this map is a mix of both, as we know, hybrid map, which means you do have to adapt to 2 different playstyles. You can't just do the goats comp and pray, say your prayers,
or you
your
could.
vitamins.
Could you? Think about it. You could, because it offers both, right? If you run the Reinhardt, because there's different goats comps. If you run the Reinhardt, Zarya, Diva, you could also switch it up to add a Winston in there. If you want to switch the Reinhardt for a Winston, that could also work for an initial dive. If you want to do that. So far though, we see one team just going all tanks. They're saying, screw that. Let's just do this. But obviously that's just to scout out the initial map and then hopefully switch. Yeah.
And our teams are getting ready. 15 seconds until until they start bringing it to the field. These teams 3-0 in favor of Expandables. Vote meme today, sitting very, very far behind. Now it just comes down to the map differential as these teams take the field. It's go time, baby.
That's it. Yeah, we're on the go. Expandables looking for the attack to start it all off. They're running goats. That's what I told you. Let's see what they can do.
This player, none so vile, once again. This dude, I absolutely admire him so much.
See, I'm not the best Overwatch player. I'm not highly ranked or anything. I had no idea this was a route that you could take on offense, but they're going down the stairs.
They come down the stairs. Picks are starting to come through. Balsacon will be the first one to fall, as well as Game for You. Does look so far. We got a lot of Expandable members on that point, but the defense is coming in quite cleanly out of Omeme today. Shot after shot after shot, and look at the wipe come out of nowhere. Omeme today off of Nats. He's looking to get none so vile a run for his money.
Nats was the one player that we were talking about 2 games ago that was the top tier player. He was playing Tracer and just constantly doing so much for his team. Right now, though, he's doing exactly that on a Zarya. Zarya is kind of that off tank, but she still does play the tank and DPS role so incredibly well. But the same thing is going to be coming up from Expandables here. They're going to go up the stairs, hopefully try and drop down.
Careful about the way they play this Expandable.
Lettuce, you can see him on the back.
As a team, you don't want them to be... You don't want anyone.
Look at this guy.
This one, but Nine going a little bit too far forward. Out comes the ultimate from Captain Creek, who gets so many down, and this is Vote Meme today, having an open season, but Expandable, they use the Transcendence. They have something to say about this one. You can see Purple Dragon and that baby Diva, as well as the Gravitational going to come out. Doesn't have much of a follow-up, and instead, it's Captain Creek who's going to be the one to fall. Expandable have now claimed the point, and with no one in sight for Vote Meme today, Expandable are going to start escorting the payload.
Exporting and escorting the payload. They're gonna cap that though. What an amazing cap as well. You saw just how much Zarya can do when she is just given the room to perform as well. I loved seeing the McCree. I don't know if you saw that there, but he was kind of hiding in the bushes just to see what little tricky plays he could pull off there, but the Zenyatta caught him off guard. Sequoia just in the I think it was the side room. He was just right behind them, and McCree had no idea. But high noon, you can hear it.
Oh no, Deadeye! There's no one to focus
Everyone's in the
on.
room.
Lettuce. Bad time to use that Deadeye. Look at everyone was just hiding behind the wall. No,
but the
out there, but out comes the ultimate. Lettuce is going down. Captain Creek is going down, and the ultimate comes out from X Game for You. And Vote Meme today, even though it looked bad for just a second, it gets turned around off of X Game for You.
Just the shred of the Hanzo ultimate was so nice there. As well, you ended up seeing the Deadeye, which Vote Me today reacted so well to. They ended up just going into that side round, 200 IQ play, just get inside.
No, it was
Nobody.
Vote Me today who did the dash.
Yeah, they were like, oh wait, yeah, you're right. Just kidding. You saw EXPandable go into that side round, 200 IQ play. I got mixed up between the sides.
And yet
But-
he's the one who wins the fight.
Literally, and they ended up getting a team kill, almost team kill, which was great. But that poison from Anna is so strong.
Captain Freak right here, really utilizing that cover to be able to come out, ring out a shot or two, but out comes the Transcendence. The fight is going to break through as ExPandable looks to get the push, but a counter Transcendence coming through from Urshical. The big bang is waiting to happen, but it doesn't find much, and you know who finds more? It's X Game for you with a clean ultimate down the middle.
X Game came out in the first map and played the Hanzo, and he played it so incredibly well. I don't know why we didn't see this more, but they're pulling out such an amazing defense. Vote Meme today. Where were these guys? It honestly seems like Vote Meme, they have so many good points in their play, and all of a sudden when they just don't know what to do, that's it. They just fall apart. But now they're looking like monsters. They only have 2 minutes left in order to push the Expandables. They need to find something quick.
X Game for you has had some of the cleanest Dragon Strikes I've ever seen. Every time it looks like EXPandable have a chance, out comes that Rialto attack of spaghetti.
I love how you pause there. You're just like laugh at my joke. But just go.
Oh, the fight's still coming through. Expandables are able to find quite early picks, including X Game for you. And they finally get the push they've been desperately seeking, and taking away that flank from Vote Meme today was huge.
Yeah, that's massive. They ended up finally getting a push there. They switched out, I believe it was the Reinhardt. I believe they had to switch that out. That was not working for them. Dope Waffles ended up picking the Winston and just jumping into that backline. He got two initially and is able to open up the window for his team to go in. Now you see the two tanks on the top there. They want to find some sort of an angle. They see the two DPS in that backline. Tracer as well wanting to go in.
Dope Waffles looking to get some damage in, takes down Lettuce. The flank is working beautifully. You can see Purple Dragon right there, only looking to play interference to get that Reinhardt shield to go down. And now bodies are all over the place. Game for you will not have the same benefit of having that perfect angle to set up the Dragon Strike. And instead we get some pops going over towards the side of Vote Meme today. Out comes the Dragon Strike. It's not going to land onto anything, as well as the Hammer Down coming through. Vote Meme today looking to defend this as best as they can. Expendables want to push through, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Too many bodies going down, but none so vile. Finds two on the backside. Game for you is running for his life. The primal rage of Dope Waffles finds its mark. And look at Captain Freak. He's tried his darndest. He's tried his best. It's not going to be enough. Expandable are fighting the push, but Lettuce on the top side is spotted out. Dope Waffles looking to hunt him down, gets a bit of damage in, locking it over towards that checkpoint. And now Expandables, it looks like they're going to be able to claim it. Lettuce has to back off. Will he use the Deadeye? Finally, the defense is looking clean. Out comes the self-destruct, but it is blocked, as well as the ultimate coming through. It is now high noon. It picks up onto Zine. Purple Dragon finds
4
Lettuce,
meters.
but Expandables, they are starting to fall one by one. Both teams today are getting the better of this defense as we head into overtime. The shots are being shot. Rings true.
Oh, she gets one.
Is it enough to pick on the backside of the Power Dog? Captain Creek finds the defense. The Koi able to reset that overtime timer, but inevitably falls. And Vote Meme today, they stop it at checkpoint number 2.
They couldn't get that last little bit, and you see the Lucio. He's just standing in front of that payload like, well, what do I do now? Just can't get back onto that. Oh, that was so close. They ended up pushing that 114 meters. That was a very, very long push, but what a beautiful defense as well. Vote Meme today, they knew what was up there.
Yeah, and if Vote Meme actually win this round, yeah, you have to give it to X Game for you. He was the superstar of that last little bit from all of those Dragon Strikes. He had 2 very clean ones that just annihilated the party of Expandables off of the flank.
Yeah, there was a lot of little Hanzo ultimates that were beautifully aligned up there. One in particular that I remember was right past the gate where you push the payload. You ended up just you know, it's a very tight corridor, and a lot of members will find themselves just, you know, just around that payload, maybe 2, maybe 3 on the payload itself, and Hanzo ended up getting like 4 kills there. Not only with the Dragon Strike itself, but just with more snipes as well. But we get to see a couple of switches to certain comps. X Game U, I think he's trolling a little bit because he is still in the base. He can still switch. He's playing out the Torbjorn. Torbjorn did get reworked, but it wasn't enough to play him. Sadly. Yeah, he goes on Hanzo. That's fine. I can dream.
Meanwhile, none so vile.
Look at
He's
this
gonna look to
guy.
be a pest right now. Absolutely.
Sombra.
Pest. Just running around saying, "Hey, you guys see me? Let's do something. Let's get it going."
See you later.
Yeah, you see how Sombra's on the back line. She has an ability where she places down one. It's like one portal, and then she goes wherever, and then can go back to that portal. Anyways, we're seeing some pushes onto this first point. Nothing so far, but XKMU, he says, no, you're wrong, Caster. Wow, this is massive.
Yeah, Nat's doing a great job there. Vote Meme today. Our body picks the revive, goes on to Basilcon, is able to take to the sky in times. It doesn't matter because he falls again at the hands of Lettuce. Running forward is Dope Wobble's got to be careful about the way you play that because he's annihilated. Down goes the baby diva, and it only took one push, but Vote Meme today pull it off.
And now the defense has to come out. There's 2 main points where the enemy team can come from. One is through that little small it's like a cafe, and then other through that right hand where Lettuce is going through right now. But it looks like nobody wants to contest. They want to set up for that second point.
Escort the payload.
And a brilliant first push to come out of Vote Meme today. Now the defense is going to be heavily required from Vote Meme today. Assault, excuse me, not this.
Yep.
Defense.
That's fine.
They're pushing it forward, getting a lot of work in. And at this flank, this is where we saw a lot of success come out of EXPandable. Now Vote Meme today. Defense not going to be as successful from EXPandable.
Yeah, it's not going to be, but Graviton.
Yeah, as well as an ultimate gonna go through. Extremely critical at that point, but EXPandable are getting the better of it. They've only lost none so vile. Meanwhile, look at the health bars just drop from Vote Meme today. The defense comes out from EXPandable.
They pushed that payload just well enough. They didn't end up falling at any point other than this little choke where there was really nothing that they could have done there. It was a very hard point to take. Now you see the Tracer coming out as well. The Genji is actually super successful. Ended up going onto that backline a couple of points, but I thought Winston was going to be going in there. Transcendence popped up.
Yeah, Transcendence is used, but there's not much you can really defense against as the self-destruct does go out. It doesn't land onto anything, but look at Lettuce pick up 2. Those could be critical right there as Vote Meme today look to continue their push forward, but having a hard time getting through that tanky front line of EXPandable. Finally, Lettuce gonna look to lead the charge, gets a bit of damage onto Dope Wobbles. Dope Wobbles does get stun, half to put down the shield as Nat's gonna look to lead the charge.
The one thing I never want to say is they're able to get 2 and not get anything off of that because it gives you such an amazing opportunity just to push onto that payload. A couple of meters is really all it takes. Look at it. They're almost at that point where they could be capping this whole entire match. They got to get on this payload. They got to contest.
Oh, that was a great pick to come out of Captain Freak, who now has the nano boost and is gonna run rampant all over this squad of EXPandable. But out comes the Transcendence. Purple Dragon gonna look to be a pest and stop that payload from moving, but it's so close to that spot that it needs to be. But here comes Basilcon looking to get out the damage, but oh my goodness gracious, that Dragon Strike was the game winner.
Oh my goodness, the Dragon Strike ended up getting 3 there, or at least getting 3 members very low. We get to see play of the game. Are you really surprised? Are you? Let's just see how this Dragon Strike did. This was the one I was talking about, right? You fire 3 quick shots in, all of a sudden, just right through the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe getting a couple of more assists. Oh my goodness.
It doesn't get better than that. That was some gross stuff. X Game for you was definitely the MVP of that one. That was woo.
Wow, that man. What a man. What a man.
What a man.
What a man. He was
What
crazy.
a manly man.
What an awesome set we got to cast. That was so cool.
Yeah, as Vote Meme today, they are finally able to pick up a W, so it's gonna feel good for them.
That feels good.
Doubt. It's not just complete annihilation.
Yep. Can you cast it in a world?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at chat. In a world. In a world. In a world.
Okay, yeah, but coming up next in just a couple of minutes, we are going to continue this tournament. The next game will be Boosted, by the way, or BTW, whatever that stands for, versus
Boosted,
Team Burn. Boosted, by the way.
Yeah, I actually like how Team Burn's icon is the Minecraft burning icon, so kudos to you. Good childhood. You get to see that. As well, Boosted, by the way, is nice MS paint drying. I see you guys. I'll commemorate that. But one of them coming off of a 4-0 couple of weeks. We're now in week number 3, so we get to see them hopefully try and take, their 5th set. This would be something that's massive. Quickly touching on that last one, though, we finally, one team breaks their streak, which is massive. Right, going 0-4 is not the best scenario for you to be in. But finally, when you face a 0-4, put them up against each other, that's when you get to see some sort of a collision. But Burn versus Boosted, this is one you don't want to miss.
Yeah, we have an undefeated streak on the line with Team Burn Boosted. Looking to be the upsetter of that one. You don't want to miss it. It's going to start in just a couple of moments. And on that note, I believe that's going to do it for us right now, Sage.
That's it, dude. Yeah.
Thank you for having us, and thank Owlet for letting me do my first cast of the day. My name has been Eric Decerux Beltran. This is my co-caster, Daniel. TheSavedOne Mana. And stay tuned. More action is around the corner as we throw it over to Hotohori and Raza.